Yeah, and shout out to Ranger in the chat as he's also here cheering on Starduck to win it all. Oh, it's gonna be a tough one regardless, mate. Like these are the some of the best Zerg players in Southeast Asia.
They are. Again, the elephant in the room would generally be Mio Micah, but guess what? Mio ain't here today. Demi ain't here either.
Very true.
They're transferring the powers over to these two players. One of them being our Blues player coming down from the land of Hong Kong, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. He is the Blue Zerg player from Hong. Did I say that earlier on? My tempo has been thrown off. I need a new metronome for this. He is gonna be representing himself as he's currently teamless. GogojOey.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide ALE, we have the best player in all of the Philippines, the Red Zerg, representing Team Liab Esports. It is EnDerr.
I think we talked a little bit about how a lot of brands do, when it comes to StarCraft 2, do just focus on one player to support, and funnily enough, EnDerr and Liab, it's one of them.
Yeah, EnDerr and Liab, Ranger and Mate Hexa as well, right? It's really cool that happens. It's one of those things where there was a period where I was like considering, oh, yo, do we want to try and pick up Ranger for the Cranky Ducklings? But then I'm like, I kind of want Mate Hexa to have him, you know, like they're a big like Malaysian esports team. Like I feel like it's a good thing for them to like have a StarCraft player and for them to build on that. Same with someone like EnDerr and Liab.
Really, you're just interested Aries to be in the same channel.
Yes.
As Ranger. But yeah, no, it is pretty cool. Mate Hexa is definitely a very, like, there's a bit of national pride behind that team.
Mm-hmm.
They are very much the kind of top organization that supports Malaysian esports. And speaking of supporting esports, EnDerr with a very cheeky cool first.
Yeah, he went for a pool gas opening, so oh my god, this does get scattered by GogojOey. He did send his Overlord here towards the northern side of the map, and he will see the Lings on the way. So what's important is that with this opener, I mean, I talk about this all the time, I love this opener myself. EnDerr, he does have a much faster Ling speed on the way, much faster compared to GogojOey.
Indeed, he does, and already is quite needed because these Lings zoom across the map. I started to wreak havoc in that natural base. Can you get the flank line? Can you get the flank? Ooh. And to surround those Lings, not quite. Unfortunate, but he should be able to get the queen.
He should at least be able to get the queen. The queen will go down. And you know what? There are nothing but Lings on the way here for EnDerr. He did drone up a little bit, but honestly not too much. Something that's interesting to note as well is that he did not throw down a Bailey nest.
Yeah, he's making everything he's got on these Lings. That's probably a good idea.
I mean, what's important is that GogojOey, with slow Lings, he scouted everything. He saw the lack of drones. He saw the lack of the Bailey nest, so he knows that a big Ling flood is coming, and that is why GogojOey does throw down his own Bailey nest.
Unless he got proxy hatch. No. There's safety banes are going to be invaluable right now for GogojOey, especially as you said, since EnDerr is really going to be looking to make Banelings of his own. It'd be a lot more tricky for EnDerr to dodge them. Very, very close.
Exactly, the Lings do get pushed away for now. No major connections. But again, EnDerr, he did stop throwing down or making Lings. He did start droning up. Actually, going for a very fast lair.
Huh. 2 base Muta?
I imagine so. I mean, there's no Roach Warren, there's no Evo Chambers, like there's no other tech whatsoever. So, I mean, there we go. Finally, it does get thrown down as a part of the wall, though. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on things and see if this is going to be for Aspire or if he does want to invest in something else.
Yeah, I definitely have to doubt whether he's actually going to utilize that Roach Warren, considering how delayed it was. There's already going to finish up. There's the gases.
Yeah, we do have all the gases being taken here. The lair is about to finish. Meanwhile, what's important about all of this is that GogojOey, of course, he needs to scout this. He's sending a couple of links across the map, but there is a full wall.
There it is. He's going with those overlords, but he's a little bit afraid to do so.
Yeah, and there is that Spire. Not just the Spire, but also +1 melee's on the way. Ooh, the wall's not a wall. The Ling! Oh!
The Ling does get in, but not for long. Will be taken out before it can get any scouting done whatsoever.
Exactly.
And it's Spire. It's free to roam.
It is, but you know what? More Lings are on the way, and can he actually make it through this time? It looks like he will.
Just about too fast for you, EnDerr. And he will see that Spire.
Ay. Feels bad, man. The wall was not a wall for one moment. And now GogojOey knows everything about what is coming his way. He is going for his own lair. And we'll see if he throws down a Hydra Den or if he goes for his own Spire, which will be quite a bit later if he does decide to go for that.
Yeah, probably shouldn't go for that. One potential avenue is just making a massive round of roaches and trying to end the game before EnDerr can really get comfortable in that muta phase, but yeah, Hydras into eventually Lurkers is the much safer option.
It is, but it looks like GogojOey wants none of that. He starts his own Spire. As we see, the Spire of EnDerr is already done, so this is kind of scary. GogojOey has to rely on his queens and his spores to defend long enough for his own mutants. Ah!
Phoenix! That's how you know me and Mike is playing with us today. Even if he ain't here physically, EnDerr has channeled the spirit and taken one of the worst Banelin connections to the face. Everything's going so well for GogojOey.
Ay. To be fair, that isn't the biggest of deals. It was just Lings, and again, EnDerr is investing in his mutas, but still nicely done there by GogojOey. And something that I'm surprised about, mate, GogojOey has not made any spores.
That he has not. He's got that for a while, but he really has a lot of hopes for his queens here to provide some mobile anti-air.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, nicely done there. GogojOey actually focusing down one of those drones, those mining gases. The mutas finally make it across the map, and mate, there's still no spores. And there are only 3 queens, and there's not enough energy for transfuse. Not like this, GogojOey.
Well, things were going very well for him, but just in a second, they crumbled.
Mate.
Wall is no longer wall, because again, the queens were taken out. They couldn't wall that off.
Are we? Is this Chappie playing for GogojOey right now? Is that what's that? Oh no! He was like, again, GogojOey knew what he was up against, but he was so greedy with the lack of spores. I do think that it was his decision not to make them. You know, he was trying to cut corners, and he was punished for it.
He very much was. He's able now to get a couple more mutas out than if he did get the spores. But at the end of the day, the damage has already been dealt. These Lings are coming in for a massive run by.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? There would have been like 4 or 5 queens to help defend, but they were all taken out earlier. 15 drones do go down. EnDerr dealing a lot of damage here. Does maintain map control. He does have the muta lead, and wow, even almost kills the 4th.
Almost, but not quite. Still though, 15 drones, that might as well be a 4th.
Oh god. And GogojOey, he has been able to close the gap in the muta count, to be honest, which is great, but the 4th is going to go down, and EnDerr, he's ahead in upgrades. He has +1 fire attack as opposed to the 0/0 of GogojOey.
That he does. He could try to fight this right now, but again, doesn't want to extend whatsoever. Will just be looking to starve GogojOey out.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to that, though, I feel like EnDerr should have taken his own 4th base a while ago. Like, he's had map control. Like, GogojOey hasn't been able to go across the map at all. So there's no reason for EnDerr not to at least take another expansion. At least one.
I think it was the saying, though, like, it goes something like, no expand, only muta.
Who says that?
The only Marine guy.
I thought you were going to say Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, Jaime, mate.
Jim, Jaime, Demi. Firefly at one point, probably.
Probably. But because, like, EnDerr hasn't really taken advantage of the fact that there's nothing to worry about when it comes to expanding. GogojOey, like, he is kind of catching up here. Like, the gap is slowly closing. Slowly.
Yeah, he's strangely enough starting to recover, but we'll see how long that actually lasts. EnDerr hasn't been joining up, hasn't been getting expansions because he is working on a massive 3-base all-in. By the looks of things.
Yeah, and you know what? I would think that GogojOey would be okay if he had a couple of banelings, if he had a couple of defensive spores as well to fight alongside his mutas. But again, he only has spores in his mineral lines, only 1 each, and now GogojOey moves out.
A little bit unfortunate here. EnDerr's Carapace is just going to finish up. So it is Mutafights. He's going to be at a slight advantage. Just like so.
Yeah, beautiful spread here. All the wings get taken out from GogojOey, and GogojOey, again, he was able to make a decent muta count, but he's down in the upgrades, and it's kind of going his way.
Those aren't even EnDerr's final mutas, by the way.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, apparently those are Lings. For a second I thought they would be mutas.
Yeah, the Lings, they went across the map. 13 drones went down. That was the entire mineral line at the 3rd base of GogojOey. GogojOey, he may have, like, kind of won the muta fight to begin with, but he lost all these workers. There were no banelings to defend, which would have been crucial here, and it does feel like a slow death for our Hong Kong boy.
Definitely does. What were we saying earlier on about, it'll come back to me, don't worry.
What? Oh god, it's one of
GogojOey was catching up, there we go.
Yeah, he was, and then
Not
he
anymore.
wasn't.
Yeah. Have to agree with Ranger in the chat. The EnDerr comeback is absolutely unreal. I don't think GogojOey is quite used to players who are able to control the pace of the game this dominantly.
When you say EnDerr comeback, mate, again, GogojOey not making spores, mate.
True. Look, it's all about the framing here, like, you know.
It's all about the lack of spores, mate. Like, that was that was questionable,
it's
mate.
It's all about the spores in frame. That's how we want to put it. But yeah, it's just about one final muta fight, and it is very tough to see EnDerr not taking this.
Yeah.
Much more spread. I decided to thin out a little bit for EnDerr, and GogojOey is getting a couple of reinforcements in, but to be fair, those queens are going to be null and coffin. GG is called. EnDerr takes game number 1.
GG.
Well played. I like it. A very different ZvZ we're seeing, and that's why I think everybody's always hyped whenever we see EnDerr sign up for a weekly event like this.
Exactly. Like, again, it's great to see EnDerr here again returning, making his return. He doesn't come every week, but, you know, every now and then he does show up, and he always looks on point. At the same time, GogojOey really does need to respect his opponent. I understand that maybe GogojOey doesn't play EnDerr too often in these weeklies, but, mate, you scout a spire, you throw down spores,
you build spores. Or at least make more queens.
Like, spores are the best anti-air that Zerg has, mate. We've seen, you know, we even see spores used offensively, like with Nidus all-ins and stuff like that against muta play, like.
Because it's that good. Especially in ZvZ, because, fun fact, they have a bonus against biological units.
They do.
At the very least, when you get that spire, don't try to catch up on the muta count, right? Get corrupted.
Yeah,
get
like
something.
That's you know what?
Something, GogojOey.
You know what? That me and Micah would do that.
Probably.
He would make corruptors, you know? Like there are other avenues to go for. And again, GogojOey had all the information he needed. He saw the timing on the spire, so he knew like how far behind he would be with his own spire, with his own mutas, and what he would need to do to respond to that, but yeah, in the end, GG, we are diving into game number 2, and we now have our lobby.
Oh. That we do. Interesting to see that Romanticite was what these players picked for their first map. It is ZvZ after all, but... And I guess we normally expect these 2 players to be a bit more aggressive, but that's probably why they vetoed maps like Beckett Industry. I'm assuming, anyway. We'll see what the ace match is, potentially.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get there. Meanwhile, at the same time, thank you so much. I apologize for not giving you a shout out earlier. I actually don't know if you're still here. You are. Shout out to OK Hydra in the chat for that sub. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kuro was talking about it earlier, but you do have now access to the replays from this tournament, not just this tournament, but also many others that we do cast throughout the week.
We do Grand Platypus Open, Battle of the Americas, Sentimento Latino, Copa Hyperion,
MEC Weekly.
MEC Weekly. That's about the regular stuff that we have, but yeah, every now and then, may cast a qualifier or something, and we do get permission to shed replays for those. In the meantime, though, we're going to be continuing our best of 3 semifinals. We're here in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way to the top right-hand corner of KBBLE, Jagannatha, F92 FM. We have the Blues player coming out for the land of Hong Kong. He is currently teamless. He is GogojOey.
And spawning in. Yeah. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, oh my, of Jagannatha ALE, we have the Filipino Zerg player. He is red, this time going for a gas first opening, which is kind of
pool.
Yeah, kind of odd, to be honest, kind of odd. But here we go, he's already up 1-0 in this series. Can he make it a 2-0? It is EnDerr.
Well, I suppose that's why they call him EnDerr the Odd Light.
Who calls him that?
The eccentric. I will from now on.
What do you? You know they call. You know the people that in Singapore, Revenant. He calls him that.
I was gonna say, didn't Revenant actually describe EnDerr as like Miyamika on crack? But no, it's the other way around. Miyamika is EnDerr on crack.
Oh god.
But yeah, EnDerr definitely has his, honestly, the most unique style out of any of these Southeast Asian players. Well, I say the most unique, but all of them are fairly distinct from one another. I will say though that if you look at Miyamika and Demi style, you know, maybe it's just because they play against each other so often. There are some similarities here and there. Miyamika and GogojOey styles, GogojOey and Demi styles, less similar than his styles, than his and Miyamika's style, but you can still see them. EnDerr though, absolute enigma.
Yeah, and this is pretty interesting because EnDerr, once again, he is pulling off of gas. I would kind of love to see EnDerr go for this variant, but with a Bailey Nest behind it as well. You know, just something that I would love to see. But again, he is just applying a little bit of pressure here. We do have Link speed behind this, and we'll see if he just continues to flood Links.
Yeah, I'm super curious as to what keeping the extra drone in the gas is gonna be for. Very nice surround on at least one drone, and he will keep a couple of these Lings alive. I'm waiting for the Link flood and the round 2 coming out from EnDerr.
There it is. 6 more Lings are on the way. But likewise, oh, this time, there we go. EnDerr does throw down that Bailey Nest.
This is gonna be a lot more chaotic. Like, do like that EnDerr is getting that third base, so if he does have to go into the next phase of the game, he won't be too far behind. But more importantly, he's also going to have a lot more production available to him for this assault.
That he will. He's going to be flooding nothing but Lings and Banelings across the map here. But GogojOey was able to read the situation quite well. That's why he has his own Bailey Nest on the way. And again, the Queens are here in position, but the Lings actually get caught out. Oh no.
They do, and that's very unfortunate. EnDerr didn't even need the Banelings to get rid of Lings there.
Exactly, but here we go. The Banelings are being morphed in here for GogojOey. Likewise for EnDerr. GogojOey being a little bit greedy, actually droning up a little bit as well in the midst of all of this. Again, he hasn't really gotten too much of a read here on EnDerr. EnDerr himself also droning up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess he realized once he moved in and once he saw those Queens in position, there wasn't really a lot that he could get done offensively, so he just morphs his Banelings back at home to defend, and since he already had that third base, might as well make use of it. That's why I just love the timing that third base from EnDerr. No matter what, it was going to work out for him.
Yeah, exactly. Use that larva for those Lings or just to drone up eventually. Meanwhile, okay, thankfully GogojOey does back up. Doesn't run headfirst into those Banelings when not casting Miyamika.
Although he is here with us, spiritually.
Exactly. Always, mate.
Right, we're getting to a bit more of a classic ZvZ here. Not even classic Southeast Asia ZvZ, just ZvZ in general. Lingbane versus Lingbane into more Lingbane versus more Lingbane.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, it's EnDerr's goal to try and deny this third base. Right now, ooh, not the best trade there for EnDerr. He does take out a couple of the banelings, but there's still one baneling remaining here. Never mind, it does get picked off.
There was one more baneling remaining, but not enough lings for EnDerr to really take advantage of that.
And thankfully, both players did transition out of this. They both threw down their Roach Warren. GogojOey does end up holding on to his third hatchery, just barely. Oh my god, the queen! Up!
It's in a lot of trouble. Thankfully, the banelings are here to keep them alive. And they're going to be making it out without any drone kills.
Oh, just barely, mates. And I'm really interested to see what GogojOey has in store for us, because he did throw down a Roach Warren, sure, but he's not committing to +1 range attack. And he could even do something crazy and try and go straight into mutas.
Yeah, curious to how that Carapace is gonna pan out for GogojOey here. I'm trying to think, maybe he wants to go into Ultras after this, but I doubt it. I mean, if you're going Roaches, right, and you want to go Ultras later on, what upgrade do both of them have in common? That was me on Micah saying, that's so dumb. Not even I would do that.
That was me minus smiting your house, maybe, like telling you on about me.
It's like, not even I would do that. Come on.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, here we go. EnDerr is going across the map with his roaches. +1 range is still well away, but oh, it looks like the spine will get sniped. But again, he doesn't really have too much longevity here. It's so awkward. I almost never see slow roaches waddle and try and like be aggressive across the map.
Well, that's EnDerr for you, isn't it?
Yeah, he's losing a lot.
He is. He's retreating, and he's taking a lot of casualties in that retreat. Doesn't have a particularly impressive army either. There are a couple of spines now, but I think it's a little too late.
He's panicking a little bit. There we go. Finally, we do have speed on the way here. Glad reconstitution for EnDerr, but here comes GogojOey with his entire army.
Yeah, it feels like it's definitely too little too late here. GogojOey is already stepping out the queens and still has plenty of roaches to spare. EnDerr droned up hard earlier on. Now he has to give up a lot of those drones.
That he does. There's just not enough roaches here. Thankfully, the spines are about to finish up, but oh god, there's again, GogojOey just has so much. He does get pushed away. He doesn't have any Ravagers to help deal with those spines.
Yeah, only morphing them right now. Thankfully for EnDerr, though, he does have defender's advantage. The roaches are popping out and providing a little bit of a sandwich, and it will take some time for GogojOey to waddle across the map. This is Juggernaut, after all.
Yeah, again, he's just reinforcing across the map as best he can. But, I mean, thankfully for EnDerr, he honestly didn't lose that many workers. Like, it's still okay. Like, he does have that defender's advantage, but, you know, the upgrades are kicking in here for GogojOey, and the Ravagers are done.
They are. Those Spine Crawlers are forced to unborrow and reborrow. It takes a lot of time. EnDerr has a decent defensive position here, but GogojOey should be aware of that. Dips in, knows what he can get done, and he should be focusing a lot more on his economy. I say that as more roaches are coming out.
Exactly. Oh my god, the biles are going to land. They are going to connect with the remaining spines. They all get taken out, and now GogojOey has finally broken through the defenses of EnDerr, breaks into the natural, and this time, I do think that GogojOey will be able to at least tie up the series.
That he will. We are getting that ace match light. Gotten to the point of no return here. I don't see anything EnDerr can do to turn this around. And there we have it, GG. Now it's a moment of truth. Do we have Beckett Industries for the ace match?
That's what I'm looking forward to. You know, how did the vetoes turn out? What is our ace match going to be here?
We'll find out once that lobby gets thrown down.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Blackburn, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would kind of love that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of potential especially knowing the playstyles of, I feel like GogojOey in particular. I feel like EnDerr is a bit more of a mystery when it comes to how he wants to play out the series.
I love how Henrik said as he was saying, he's like, who calls EnDerr the odd mate? Who says that? Oh god.
I will from now on. Thank you very much. Excuse you.
Oh god. And I was actually about to say this map as a joke, but apparently we're loading in on Oxide, mate.
Huh. Alright, definitely not what I was expecting, honestly.
Yeah, I was expecting something a little bit more chaotic, but okay, it looks like the ace match, the final map between these two, will be on Oxide.
Yeah, I would have thought at the very least, like 2,000 atmospheres, right? Right!
Yeah. But,
Alright,
here we go.
Here we go. We're going to be concluding our semifinals here. Whoever takes this map is going to go up against Starduck. Still waiting in that grand finals as we load in to Oxide LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, sweating all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the blue Zug player coming out from the land of Hong Kong. He is the best, straight up the best player from Hong Kong. And they're asking why here.
Yep, asking for a little bit of a break. So hopefully everything's okay. I mean, everyone heard the thunder and lightning coming out from the land of Singapore. So hopefully everything's okay in the Philippines.
And Singapore's pretty close to the Philippines, yeah, to Manila. But thankfully that was a very quick issue to resolve, and we're going to be continuing our map here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE. We have the currently teamless GogojOey. Took me a while to remember where I was at.
So good. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, once again, 3 games in a row going for that gas pool opening. We have the Filipino Zerg. He's red, representing Liab Esports. It is EnDerr.
I'm liking Pez's suggestion here, Light. This is why they call him EnDerr the Odd, but it's also why they call him EnDerr the God.
Oh god. Well, I mean, he's here to prove that, I should say, because pretty interesting that EnDerr has gone for the same opener 3 games in a row. We'll see. He has shown a little bit of a variation, right? Game 2, he did end up going for that Baneling Nest. He did try and be that little bit more aggressive, but in the end, it didn't really work out his way. We'll see if he can switch things up here in Game 3.
Well, not too much, at least when it comes to the openings here. Still, the 6 Lings coming out, still that early Ling speed coming out from EnDerr. But he does keep all 3 drones in the gas. He wants to tech up a lot sooner.
There's the Baneling Nest. There it is, mate. You know what, EnDerr, he's been watching some light ladder streams. That's what he's been doing. As he goes straight for that Baneling Nest. I do think that he's still mining a little bit too much gas right now. He will have plenty to morph in Banelings when it is done, but he may have a little bit of excess there as well, as the Lings are currently dancing with the Lings of GogojOey.
There's going to be a lot EnDerr can get done. Interesting how cautious he is when it comes to chipping away at that natural base. But I'm guessing he's just waiting for the Baneling Nest to finish up.
Yeah, I was about to say you don't want to be losing Lings early on. Maybe that's why he's being cautious. I say that as he just loses 2 Lings. So EnDerr does back off, but you know what? The Baneling Nest is done. Then we go immediately 4 Banelings are morphed in. More Lings are flooding across the map.
I am in absolute awe right now. GogojOey does see the Link speed kicking in. I don't think he's aware of the Baneling possibility quite yet, though. His Baneling Nest is only now finishing up, though, Light. And that drone scouts it right at the last second.
Exactly. Banelings are morphing in, but it is too late. He doesn't have a spine. He doesn't have anything. Oh my god, the Banelings actually crash into the Banelings of GogojOey.
That's actually best case scenario for GogojOey.
Yeah, kind of, right? He's morphing in more Banelings. The Queens are actually holding pretty well at the moment. The Banelings of EnDerr, they're going to morph in. He has two.
He was hurting them right on top of the Banelings. Nope, not quite. Funnily enough, the EnDerr didn't even need Banelings to deal with the links of GogojOey. May need them now. The Banelings of GogojOey! They're come in. He's morphing one of them right on top of the rest of the links. Like,
oh god, that he is.
So careful.
Yeah, finally the Queens move out of the way. The Banelings do make it down, and GogojOey, he does hold 4 now. One of the Queens almost goes down.
Oh! A couple of Banelings do get sniped, but EnDerr is definitely losing a couple more links, and he needs to. That Queen is still alive.
How is this how? Finally, the Queen does get sniped. It didn't deserve to be alive that long. Behind this,
wow.
EnDerr is droning up, though. He has realized he cannot end the game.
I get it.
What?
What? End the game, yeah. I get it. Don't worry, lad. I get it. I see what you did.
I did nothing.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. Feelings too much to get in, but
you're
again,
like, I get it. End of the odd mate. End of shaking my head.
I get what you're doing, even if no one else will.
Oh no. But EnDerr, he's in a really rough place. Like, he is able to catch up in drones, but soon, like, GogojOey, he could go for a counterattack. He is well ahead in terms of army supply. Instead, he goes for a third base. EnDerr trying to be cheeky with these Banelings, but they do get found by GogojOey.
And immediately chased away. And now GogojOey, he's just comfortable. He knows that he's stripped EnDerr from any map control he once had. You know, he himself doesn't quite have it. He does sneak a ling in. He sees that lair coming up. He knows that EnDerr doesn't have a third base anywhere. Yeah,
that's unfortunate. EnDerr, he was going for a Hail Mary play. He was going for a very fast lair. Because he got scouted, part of me, I don't even know if you want to cancel it at this point. It's too far gone. Whatever it is, even if EnDerr wanted to go for a 2-base Muto, which is kind of what it looks like, GogojOey is not going to let him do that. He's not going to let him get away with it. He shouldn't.
Yeah, already sort of posturing a little bit with his lings, getting ready to apply some light pressure as he finalizes tech back at home. GogojOey setting up for the killing blow, and there's not much EnDerr can really do but prepare for it mentally.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we see spines thrown down, which makes a lot of sense here from EnDerr. He knows the situation he's in. He needs to survive right now for that Spire, for those mutas. But we have plenty of roaches on the way here for EnDerr. Sorry, for GogojOey.
More and more are coming up. Lings also getting ready to reinforce once they need to. EnDerr is pretty hard supply capped.
That he is. The roaches are on the way. For a moment there, I thought GogojOey was even going to send the Queens across the map, because why not?
He knows he doesn't need to.
Oh god. The spines have been revealed. We have 3 more on the way, 6 in total here for EnDerr, but the roaches are already here, mate. GogojOey is not going to wait for them.
Yeah, that's a very impressive spine count, Light. Now let's look at the army supply.
Oh no, there's not enough energy for transfuse. The boys are being pulled by the Banelings! Oh god!
The Banelings are getting right on top of the boys! They're clumping up, like, they're clumping up! Just like so. And in an instant, the drones go down, the spine crawlers go down, the Queens are nowhere to be seen. And it looks like GogojOey, once again, is making it to another Grand Platypus Open Finals.
That he is, mate. Shout out to EnDerr for making it this far, but in the end, GG gets called, and GogojOey is our finalist.
Oh boy. Well played. Such a series that could have gone either way, honestly.
It really could have. In the end, though, GogojOey, his scouting is what carried him through this series. Sometimes he didn't respect what he was scouting, like in game 1, but
I guess that is kind of the narrative I'm going to use for the series. Game number 1, GogojOey, he scouted a lot, but didn't respect his opponent EnDerr. He didn't play that much against EnDerr. He isn't too aware of his capabilities. He's like, yeah, I know EnDerr? Who are you even? I take out Mio Micah semi-regularly.
Yeah.
He paid the price for that one, but once he respected his opponent, once he actually reacted to what he was scouting, took the next 2 games, and now he's in the finals again.
That he is, and we'll see if GogojOey will be able to take another championship, or if Starduck becomes a new GPO champion. Starduck has made it to the finals before, but he's never taken the entire tournament.